Well, we're all set for the men's match here on our webcast at Bob Jones University in this very historic day. We're glad you're joining us. Well, Nate, we are going to see a stark difference. The speed will be much greater. The skill will be at a different level. And certainly the players will be more experienced. The Southern Wesleyan team is an international team. Numbers of players from South America, Bogota, Colombia, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil. We have Padova, Italy. All of these players with international experience. It's going to be a game.
Absolutely, but I know they have been really preparing the men's Bruins team as well as they can for this. Solid core of coaching, and I'm really excited to see how they'll tackle this challenge. First game, now unlike our previous game where we saw where Truett McConnell already played a couple games before going against the Lady Bruins, this is Southern Wesleyan's first game of the season as well. So both these teams are at, in a way, the same spot, as they've both had some scrimmages, both been practicing hard all through the summer, and now both of them will get their first game experiences of this fresh season.
And it's cooled down considerably. That's going to make it a lot easier on the players. The poor ladies had to kind of suffer in the heat, but it's still humid and warm. But South American players are very, very adept at heat of this type. So I don't see that heat is going to be an issue at all in the men's game.
Yeah, I see the lights coming on full force, and I don't know, to me there's always something cool about playing at night. You know, you have all the lights shining down on you, it's cooler, you have the breeze going, and it's just, I don't know, it's not that it's a necessarily better atmosphere, it's just different, but it's really cool, and lots of people packing, almost making a complete oval all the way around the stand, or around the stadium, and people have really turned out in literally the thousands to come out and support the Bruins in their inaugural game, first ever, and just the atmosphere, as we mentioned earlier, has been absolutely incredible. I don't think any of us could have asked for anything better. Just quick recap in case you weren't here earlier. The Lady Bruins took on Truett McConnell and fell 2-0 there. Gave a lot of good effort, but ended up on the losing side. Now, what are you expecting out of this game?
Well, I expect a lot of speed. I was watching Southern Wesleyan warm up, and they have smoking speed. Their forwards are very fast. They are very skilled. They play like they are South Americans, and many of them are. And it's not unusual for Southern Wesleyan. It used to be years ago called Central Wesleyan because it's located in central South Carolina. Not unusual for Southern Wesleyan to have a very good team. They are a Wesleyan school, a Methodist school, and a lot of missionaries in South America use their mission skills as conduits to get students to Southern Wesleyan. Festivities are about to begin, and I know it'll be the first introduction for many folks to Neil Ring. Neil is the athletic director at Bob Jones University, experienced indeed. I think the PA announcer is just about to introduce the teams. So we'll be hanging in here until the teams are introduced. As you can see, there are plenty of folks out on the pitch right now. Big squad for both teams. Bob Jones, of course, having as many players
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president of Bob Jones University, Dr. Stephen Jones, as he's joined by Bruins captain Sarah Porch and Caitlin Lehman for the presentation of the inaugural Bruins game ball. A special thank you to our BJU Bruins women's team for officially kicking off Bob Jones University's intercollegiate athletics program. To mark this momentous event, the women's team captain, on behalf of the entire team, would like to present the first official game ball to Dr. Stephen Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach Neil Ring, the Bruins athletic director.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. This is truly a historic moment in this university's history. And I'm so thankful that you made the effort to be here. This quite possibly will be one of the largest crowds to watch a soccer match in the United States in this year in college. So let's give it up. I want to say a special thank you to all of those who made this night possible. I want to say a special thank you to Jack in the Box, who's going to light the sky tonight with our fireworks. And I want to remind us that our purpose in everything that we do is to bring honor to our Savior, Jesus Christ. One of the major components of our mission in intercollegiate athletics is to generate a spirit of unity. Look around. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of our athletes who have worked hard, and I'm very thankful for our opponents tonight from Truett McConnell and from Southern Wesleyan. Let's give them a hand. Will you bow with me now as we go to the Lord in prayer for this second game? Our Heavenly Father, truly tonight, you have blessed us. And Lord, you have smiled upon us and blessed the efforts of so many that have prepared for this night. And then you brought to us this wonderful crowd. You brought to us two quality opponents. And tonight, Lord, we seek to glorify you. May all that we do and say bring your holy and precious name honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
And now, let's meet tonight's players. First, for the visiting Southern Wesleyan Warriors. Number 0, Zach Wilson. Number 1, John Prochak. Number 2, Marshall Martins. Number 3, Luis Malagón. Number 4, Claudio Sanchez. Number 5, Juan Agudelo. Number 6, Juan Quintero. Number 7, Daniel Peña. Number 8, Nicolas Luque. Number 9, John Sanchez. Number 10, Rafael Fernandez. Number 11, Raul Canelos. Number 12, Caio Santos. Number 13, Ricardo Barbady. Number 14, Valentino Zaglia. Number 18, Joseph Capone. Number 19, Juan Casas. Number 20, Jonathan Ruiz. Number 21, Douglas Andrade. And number 24, Miles Terry. And now, let's meet your BJU Bruins! 00, here's Cam Lawson. Number 0, John Weiser. Number 1, John Sandy. Number 3, Jordan Allen. Number 4, Kai Hubbard. Number 5, Caleb McKissick. Number 6, Matt Moore. Number 7, Stephen Lovelace. Number 8, Philip Beardsley. Number 9, Mark Bodakowski. Number 10, Tommy Sims. Number 11, Micah Inafuku. Number 12, David Overly. Number 13, Ryan Beatles. Number 14, Vince Wilson. Number 15, Ben Sexton. Number 16, Jonathan McLean. Number 17, Daniel Kamba. Number 21, Daniel Hare. Number 22, Sam Umanzer. Number 23, Joel Cade. Number 24, Devin McKenzie. Number 25, Cody Lehman. Number 26, Travis Woodham. Number 27, Ryan McCarty. Number 28, Mark Stern. And number 29, Seth Welker.
Well, the introductions are over. Taking the field.
Just a couple quick notes on the Warriors. Last year they went 10-8, and they were 7-5 in the SSAC. It's one of their conferences they play in. And a couple people to really be watching are going to be Daniel Pena and also Villafranco, as both of them had, or I'm sorry, Villafranco graduated, but he and Pena both had 8 goals. And speaking of graduated, they lost 6 seniors from their squad last year. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that affects them this year. Solid season last time. See how what kind of start they get off to tonight. And of course, Bruins' first ever game for them. And what do you think are going to be the biggest keys for this game for the Bruins to pull off the victory?
Defending. You win games by scoring goals. You win championships by defending. They are going to be tested at every level. These players know how to move the ball up and down the pitch, and they will do it. And if we don't defend and defend with depth, in other words, somebody goes to the ball and tries to stop the progress of the ball, and somebody has to be behind that defender in case the player beats the defender, and that happens. So it's depth of defense, not flat across the back, and conditioning, always conditioning. These players are very, very good players. Have a new referee and crew, and we're all ready to begin. We're going to be, everything looks set. I think the referee is about to whistle the game started, and he does. We'll see a vast difference in speed and the way the ball gets knocked around and how long the ball is knocked. Step over the ball and pull it back. You'll see that very, very often, particularly with these South American plays. There are various styles of play, and if you're refereeing or playing an English team or from the UK, in Scotland, Wales, Ireland, those players think that if you're inside the paint, you are going to be tackled and tackled hard. And I don't mean like a football tackle. A tackle is when you go in hard for the ball and you win it. If you have to take the ball through someone's legs, that's okay. It's as long as you don't come over top of the ball. That's a very dangerous situation. But playing South American guys like we're seeing here, many of them are from Bogota, and we're going to see a lot of that. I saw our player reach out and try to grab number 20 and pull him back, but and it's because they are so quick and so fast. These guys don't want to be tackled too hard. That is to say, the Southern Wesleyan players aren't going to want to be tackled too hard because they are playing a South American style. It's a very pretty style. It's a flowing style, but it's not a style where you go in hard and tackle hard.
Got a good lane down the right side if they can use it.
We're knocking the ball around pretty well. Our players are much larger than Southern Wesleyan players. And again, size doesn't necessarily mean so much. It can mean a lot in the air. If you have a player that's very good in the air, knock the ball high, let him hammer the ball down, and particularly if you're inside the 18 or close to the 6, that's the goal area, then knock the ball down. Very difficult for a goalkeeper to handle. We're moving to the ball well. That's a good sign.
And one thing that's nice for the Bruins is that actually 7 of the players in their roster are all in the same society soccer team, and so have played together for the last few years. So that really helps with the cohesiveness and knowing each other, knowing where they're going to be and how to get there.
Throw in for the Bruins.
But seeing how everybody as a whole works together and really becomes a seamless unit is going to be vital.
Oh, nice try. Ball sent down the touch line. They are called touch lines in this game, by the way, not sidelines.
That was Mark Sturr they were trying to get it to.
Yep. We'll see how well the players, and they're probing now. Both teams are probing around to see where the weaknesses are, see how they can play. There is always an advantage to moving the ball quickly across the field, changing fields with it, and letting the ball do the work. They're nice. You see how quickly the ball is being knocked about.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing right away for Southern Wesleyan is the perfection of control. I mean, you see just a little movement and the ball is perfectly trapped. Just nice, sharp passes everywhere they want to go, working into space, dropping back when they need to, just like that. Just really fluid, just beautiful soccer, really.
Very nice. Very nice header. Disrupting play. It will be a Southern Wesleyan throw in. You see how players are moving, and that's so very important. We say again, it's vital in this game to have movement off the ball. If no one is moving off the ball, there's no one to pass to. And as we're seeing there, there's a lot of movement off the ball.
That was even a good job there to drop it. Instead of dropping it in toward the box, drop it back toward the corner. Have a player available to try to send it up the touchline.
You like to see players have enough confidence to take on a player and be able to turn the ball, as it's called. In other words, knock the ball up the field by actually turning your body and knocking the ball past the defender.
It was actually an excellent idea, looking for Tommy Sims up top, but just a little bit too much speed on the Southern Wesleyan side for that to work.
Seems as if Southern Wesleyan has their better players up front. That's not unusual. If you want players to score, that's a nice ball, but a nice play there. And it's unfortunately, it's going to be a corner kick for Southern Wesleyan.
But still well defended by Daniel Kalmbach there.
Oh yeah, he just misplayed it a bit. It came up high, hit him in the knee, and went out of bounds, careened out of bounds.
He's another one of those younger guys. The men's team has a little bit more veterancy on it than the women's team does, but still a lot of freshmen and sophomores.
And a goal. That's why you have to watch players. That was a lovely shot. As soon as they quit hugging, we'll tell you who scored.
that was just absolutely beautiful. Off the inside of the crossbar, bounced down and then back into the goal. I'm actually a little bit surprised Lawson didn't get a hand on that. It looked like he was in position, just went right past him. But that was a laser beam of a kick.
Sure was. Now that was Nicholas Luque that scored, a senior from Bogota, Colombia. Very nice shot. And you cannot let these kids alone. Our team is going to learn in a hurry that when these guys are within 20 yards or 25 yards, they will take a shot. And you see why.
Yeah, that was, I mean, he could not have placed that any better. Just a fantastic shot. That's a good throw. Great throw to open space. Good foot race down there, too.
And the defender turned the ball out nicely and knocked it around. It'll be the Bruins throw in.
Bruins down one, just shy of 6 minutes into the game. Trying to answer here.
Coaches,
throw it out of bounds, though.
Coaches and players and referees always try to. There are three very critical players on any team, particularly men's team. Not so much women's team, but men have a little more, as I said, I think in the women's match, if folks were tuning in, men tend to be a little more feisty than do women in their style of play, in their physical nature of play. Well, you have to identify who is the fastest player on the pitch, and then who is the intimidator. There's going to be somebody out there that's going to try to take control, and then who's the most skilled. Usually they are different players. And once a referee particularly sorts that out, he has the game, if not in control, he has a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Joel Cave with the drive there, but really nobody in the near vicinity to pick it up. That was a great give and go right there. That was fantastic. last pass was sloppy, but the first 3 were all right on target.
Yeah, I think Joe miskicked the ball a bit. He had an in-swinger, and he certainly didn't want to do that. I think he was trying to get the ball inside the 18 to a couple of white shirts that were standing there.
Oh, just hesitancy to not go after the ball there resulted in that turnover.
Offside. Yes, well done, Mr. Assistant Referee. A player offside, but a good through ball. And unfortunately, all of our players were flat across the back. They were straight across, and that one through ball beat everybody. We've got to get some depth in our defense, or they're going to shred us.
Lawson will take the kick.
The distance of kicks, as we're seeing, is generally different in a men's game. And a foul there, no doubt. Yep. Clumsy play there by one of our players. No, you go after the ball and you miss sometimes.
Oh, I mean, he is just a freshman, so he's still learning. That's Matt Moore. But yeah, I mean, you just kind of take note of them, you learn from it, and you move on.
Sure.
But definitely a very easy call for the ref on that one. Right now, Southern Wesleyan with all kinds of space. No pressure on them right now. Looking to go deep.
Look at that service.
That was
knocked that ball 70 yards to his shoelaces. That was nice.
That's a great combination of just natural skill and hours and hours and hours of practice.
Well, these kids at Bogota, Colombia have played since they were knee-high to a grasshopper.
Oh, good send in a man on the far side. This is
pull the trigger,
very possible. And this place has just gone crazy. I think that was Tommy Sims waiting to see who comes out of the pile. We'll wait for the official announcement, though. That was a fantastic job. Brought it down the far side, had a guy on the near side. Initial one got blocked, but was going toward the goal, and that's just out hustling your man to the ball, punching it in, equalizing it less than 10 minutes into the game.
I'm not sure who is going to be credited with that. I don't know if the ball was entirely over the line when it was struck by the second player, but a nice goal. 1-1 the score. Hey, we're in this. Our players are doing very, very well.
And that was a precise pass down this far side, and just great hustle by our players to beat out the 3 defenders on the back side.
I liked that. Looked suspicious, but we're playing through. I like the way the player didn't give up. The player that took the ball inside the 18, he went hard to the ball, and he didn't give up.
And that brings a lot of life. I mean, as you mentioned in the girls' game, a lot of soccer is about momentum, and you play differently with a lead than you do when you're tied. When you have a lead, you can almost afford to be a little more laid back and defensive if you choose to play that style. But now it's, in essence, a brand new game. 1-1, 10 minutes in, and the crowd here is pumped.
A little lack of communication there. Goalkeeper could have had the ball and had and countered with it very quickly. Goalkeepers are one of the best offensive weapons that a team has. He can see the whole field. If he can get to the ball, particularly if the ball is out, it's a goal kick. If a goalkeeper can come out of the 18 and collect the ball, he can see the field in front of him, and he can exploit the space in front of his teammates. So a little bit of a miscue there where the player knocked the ball over the touchline and gave the ball up. But the goalkeeper was right there. If he'd have had it, he could have pushed it down the field very nicely to an open player.
Austin has a good, strong leg. You see there on the goal kick, gets it well over midfield. But unfortunately corralled by Southern Wesleyan instead.
I'm a little surprised at this point. Southern Wesleyan seems to be a little bit timid. And perhaps it's the crowd. Perhaps, I mean, they are a small team. A lot of these young men at the front for Central Wesleyan are physically small. Our fellows are pretty stout lads, and maybe that has something to do with them, although usually it does not. They're knocking the ball wide. Coming back to the middle of the field, number 7 bringing the ball forward now, looking for space. Tries to go up top, and misses it.
Yeah, that was a miscommunication there, as he had Fernandez curling in when he thought Fernandez was going to be curling out, hence the ball went completely the other direction.
Well, I think he misplayed it.
Good hustle there from Moore, but just can't get to it.
Yeah, now that's a turn. That player turned the ball very nicely.
Sims with the throw-in. A lot of good hustle from all players involved. And you can tell the Bruins are hungry for that second goal.
That's good space, good movement off the ball.
Nice tap back. He's got the, sees that far side. That's something we didn't see a lot of in the women's game, and I hope to see a lot more of here. That switching sides, looking for the open field, and being willing to put a long one, square it across.
One of the toughest things for soccer players to learn is to use both feet. They'll try to trap the ball with the outside of their right leg rather than the inside of their left leg very often, as happened on the far side of the pitch there.
A lot of pushing going on there by Kai Hubbard. He's going to have to be careful or else he's going to get whistled for that.
I sort of like that. I mean, it's a physical play. Whack it. Oh, my.
He could not have been given a better opportunity. Passed it right to him on the inside of the 18. Oh, man, they wish they had that one back.
I guess they do.
He beat the goalie, but didn't put it in the net.
Well, hey, we got a game here, Nate.
Crowd is pumped after that one, and that was what we talked about with the women's game. You never clear the ball back across your own goal. It is so dangerous, and Southern Wesleyan really caught a big break right there. That could have been devastating for them.
1-1 the score. We are about 14 minutes into the match, and a lot of scoring already. I mean, let's see what this player does. Oh, tried to bend it, but the bend was a little ineffective.
I'm trying to see who it was there on the far side that took that shot. He hasn't turned to where I can see his number effectively yet. It's the striker on the near side. It was right at the middle when he took it. Another goal kick for Lawson. It'll be interesting to see as the game progresses and Lawson takes some more shots, if he's able to just really put that goal behind him or not.
Well, the ball coming across. Good exercise. I like the way Southern Wesleyan is knocking the ball. Look at that. That is lovely. That is called changing the field the way it should be done. Now, what they do with it, that's something to be seen. But when you knock the ball 70, 80 yards from one flank to the far flank, that is changing fields. No one can run that fast. That's the whole point of it. Change fields quickly because the ball can get from point A to point B much faster than can a player.
I'm sorry, I just received official notice. It's John Sandy in goal, not Cam Lawson, so that is my bad on that. I've not been able to see his number, and I thought Cam was the starter, but it's John Sandy in goal for the Bruins.
So John Sandy is in the goal. John Sandy is a goalkeeper and is in the goal for BJU.
There's a good chance. Cross in, too high.
A little high and a little far, yep.
Can't quite chase it down. Good effort there, though.
Very good effort. But smart players will learn, like I think number 4 there, he won't chase so hard after balls that he has no chance to get. One of the most important things for players is to learn to conserve that energy. Don't run after something that you can't possibly get. Save that energy for when you need it, when a burst of speed is really required. Little nuances that players pick up. This kid's, that's nice, very nice. We had
excellent positioning by the defense.
It had to be good positioning because that fella can fly up there.
That's number 21. That's Douglas Adronde.
Oh, he is dangerous. Yeah, this fella, this Agrande fella, is going to be one that we're going to have to keep an eye on, or he is going to put several in the back of the net. He's quick, he's nifty, he has feet that are like like rockets. They can get in. You see how he shot there in the ball that was between a couple of defenders, but the ball came flying out with a very hard shot. Quick snap of his leg.
So far, great game. 17 minutes in. The Warriors struck first only about 5 minutes into the game, but then about 5 minutes later, Bruins answered with a goal of their own, so we are all tied up. Both teams have had some great shots, and this looks like it's going to be a great chance for Southern Wesleyan. Shot off the crossbar.
Oh my. And no one was covering. The goalkeeper didn't come out. Been a good opportunity for the goalkeeper to come out and clear that ball. Oh.
That was Rafael Fernandez, who was about 2 inches away from having a goal, and now that one's on the top of the net.
That was a shot. These guys are going to sneak down the flanks behind our players. Our players have to be aware of what's going on.
And not be flat on the back line.
That's exactly right.
But they are really aiming for that upper part of the net. You saw their goal was off the inside of the crossbar. We had one off the crossbar there, one just barely landing on the top of the net. They're really targeting that upper portion. And Hubbard, header goes the wrong way.
Yep. Just trap it with your chest, Mr. Hubbard.
Good give and go, but once again, good defense.
Good decision. That was a good decision to knock the ball out. Sometimes it is a very good play to put the ball over the touch line or the goal line in certain situations.
Ruiz with a throw in, little sloppy, good send here.
Now look up, look up.
It's Mark Sturr again who is going for that one. And now Southern Wesleyan just resetting, dropping it back into the defense and looking to reset. I expect to see a deep send down one of the sides, most likely. They've been favoring that a lot.
They have. They're not a strongly right-handed team. They've attacked from both sides. That is to say, Southern Wesleyan. That's players offside. Yes, well done.
Down at the near side, Raul Canelos really wanted it down there, as there wasn't a Bruin within 10 yards of him, but tried to go up top and a little bit too quick behind the line there.
Our players need to be, again, patience is so difficult for the human spirit, as we said in the first game. But when our player was going down the right flank here, if he would have just slowed down and let his other players catch up. You cannot.
Still loose.
Well,
good dive.
Good job by the goalkeeper. And good no call by the referee. Players are going hard for the ball. There will be contact every now and then. Good stuff, Mr. Referee.
Prochak is a very solid goaltender. He had just a 1.5 goals against average last season. So
see, we have two wingers running down either side of the field unmarked, and we're going to get hammered. Look at this fella step over the ball very nicely. Very nifty play. Very nifty players. That is the South American style. Nice service in, good header, and out of bounds for a goal kick for the Bruins.
It looked like he was offsides as well.
Flag didn't go up, so perhaps the referee thought it was going out of bounds or over his head. Well, in fact, he is giving an offside.
Not by much, but just enough.
Yep, that's all it takes.
Sandy with the boot downfield. Very solid once again.
Yes, good call. We were climbing that fella's back, and the referee had no choice but to give the foul.
Defenders going with kind of a arc shape right now. The back four.
They move
more
the
to
ball
a diamond
nicely.
now.
See how nicely they move it from flank to flank. Moving the ball to the center, he's looking, everybody's exploiting space. Everybody's staying home. Our guys tend not to stay home too much.
You can just see the Southern Wesleyan guys just waiting to make a break on a deep ball.
Sure.
Good takeaway though. Fighting through the contact, stays with it.
Oh! Goal, just wide.
Oh, that's another excellent opportunity. That was Matt Moore there, coming up with it, and that was some excellent passing though. The Bruins have not controlled the ball as much as the Southern Wesleyan Warriors have, but when they have, and they've been on offense, we've seen a few really potent attacks. 2 shots now have gone wide, and then of course that nice goal that was put in to equalize it. And you just have a feeling any time now they're going to strike again. It's coming so close. That was a great through into the middle. Moore just couldn't put it away.
Need to be, I'd like to see our team a little more patient. They're knocking the long ball and kind of a wing and a prayer, sending it forward, rather than working it down a little bit. Now we'll take any goal that gets on the scoreboard. And by the way, the score is 1-1. Bruins and Southern Wesleyan tied up. We are almost 23 minutes into this match. Of course, the halves are 45 minutes long. Now that's not much nicer patience. There's a foul, and it will be a direct kick.
I'm really liking the give and goes that the Bruins are working. The passes have been excellent. A lot of just nice, quick touches, very much mirroring what we've seen out of Southern Wesleyan. And so far, aside from a couple slight miscues, wasn't ready for it. Kai Hubbard could not have been more wide open. They saw that he was open, but he was just fell asleep a little bit there and didn't see it. They were already sending him the ball. He had been alert on that. That would have been a great opportunity.
I wonder if that was a set piece. It could have been where they drew everyone into the middle and someone sort of meanders out to the touchline, ready for the pass. If it was a set piece, Coach Carmichael, well done. Everybody is looking intense now as the ball is brought up the field. Southern Wesleyan is much more methodical in their play, and they do have these very quick strikers. They're not going to be real good in the air because they're not as tall as our defenders, but they don't need to be good in the air with the feet they have. They are very, very nifty in their feet and can get the ball heading toward the goal mouth very, very quickly.
Yeah, and their shots in general seem to have a little more power to them.
Yep. It's a snap of the leg that has to take place. And well, these kids from Bogota have been playing this game from, well, when they started walking, they started playing this game.
Miscommunication there as they went for the send and nobody went for it. So Sandy will boot it out once again. His distance has been consistently coming to about the back edge of the front or of the middle circle. So about, close to 2/3 of the way down the field. Point where very few people are even on the Bruins half at all. One's a little shorter. Headed straight up almost. Can we see that push from Hubbard an awful lot? Just puts both hands right on the guy's back.
That's a good ball. Oh, great save by the keeper. Great save by the keeper.
That's the second time. That was David Overly there. Almost had a brilliant goal. Into Matt Moore. He's got it. Knocked away though. That was clean. He fell down, but that was clean defense.
That was a nice idea, a nice crossover. A lot of times referees they see that touch on the back, and if it's not disrupting the player, and the player was able to continue on in both cases that I saw, those are sort of ticky-tacky fouls, and referees, good referees, are going to let that kind of stuff go. Now, if he pushes him and he disrupts his play and takes him off the ball, that's something else. But it's all about flow of play in this game. A referee that wants to blow the whistle and stop play for every ticky-tacky thing that happens is generally not welcome on the soccer pitch too many times, with good teams at least.
What I've seen a lot this game is the Bruins a lot more getting it down quickly and then little touches setting it up in the inside, whereas it seems like the Southern Wesleyan does a lot more little touches in the back than booting it down, and like that nice run.
Offside, flag is up.
Setting stuff up.
I think the referees have done it, particularly the assistant referees. That is a very, very difficult call to make, an offside call. If you're looking at the offside, is supposed to be called when the ball is touched, not when it arrives at the position. So an assistant referee has to be looking down the line, finding the second to last defender. and then listening for the ball to be struck. It's a very difficult call to make. And usually somebody, if a back is pulling out trying to run an offside trap and the forward is running forward, it can get real interesting in a hurry.
Great ball movement for Southern Wesleyan. Look at the offsides again.
Yep.
That was a good job where you said the defensive backs came up and the forward went behind them before ball was contacted.
Yep. Referees are doing a nice job. This is a quick game. It's an up and down the pitch game, and the referees have to be working very, very hard.
And thus far, I think we've seen a great contrast in style, but a very evenness to the teams. Both teams have their respective strengths and weaknesses, but I think it's been a very, very great game to watch so far. Tied 1-1, almost 28 minutes into the contest. That's Overly again working with that.
That's it. Oh, he was thinking. Number 28 was thinking.
I'm sorry,
there.
Stir, not Overly.
And it is a goal kick.
But you can tell they definitely have the smell of blood's in the water, so to speak. They know they can score on this team. A couple great saves from the goalie. One goal they have so far. They know if they keep working at it, they can get another one in here.
We're all tied up at 1-1, by the way, so things are looking very, very interesting. And a good clearance by the player. Let me acknowledge some other folks who are tuning in from around the country. You know, we certainly send our welcome to a group of alumni and friends from Northwest Valley Baptist Church, way out in Phoenix, Arizona. What are you guys? You're 2 hours behind us now, aren't you? Mountain time. You're watching this live webcast of the game, and we certainly are glad you are. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope it's as exciting for you in Phoenix as it is here for us in Greenville. These folks are watching the game and celebrating the 2010 graduation of Rachel Richmond's 24th birthday. Happy birthday, Rachel. Hope it's a good one.
Now 29 minutes in, still tied up at 1. It's been a back and forth game. Both teams showing, as you promised, lots of speed, lots of good touches, and a couple times failure to capitalize on big mistakes. See if that is corrected or changed at all, but both teams have had some fantastic opportunities that have not resulted in the net.
That was a nice little pullback by number 11. Oh, he's letting play go.
Now that to me looked like a good, clean, legal tackle. Was that dangerous, or was that a good play?
Well, the referee gave a play on. It's the only contest that I know about where the referee can observe a foul and not give it.
It was a good attempt there by Raul Canelos. He had another one that went to the left in almost that exact same spot, although a lot higher up. He wanted a foul out of it, but it looked like he was just taking an off-balance shot to me.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. But a referee, as I was saying here, and as BJ is taking a goal kick, the referee has an option to look at a play and say, yes, that was a foul, but if I call the foul, I am going to break the pace of the game. I'm going to take the advantage, the attacking advantage, away from the attacking team. So he has the option of not calling the play. So the referee there, if our webcasters were observing, they saw him hold his hands out and say he should have said to the players, and I'm sure he did, play on.
Good takeaway by Sims right there. Gets it back to him. But once again, Southern Wesleyan with that great speed and fantastic footwork. I'd say those are their two biggest assets in this game right now, are their speed and their footwork.
These guys are like water bugs. They're everywhere. They just zing around, zip around.
Really doing a fantastic job. I think for our guys, I think their advantage is probably in the size. When it's anything that's up in the air or trying to win a ball in the air, or when it comes to headers, that's really going to pay off for them. And also, I think we have a little bit more aggression on our side right now.
I think so. We're playing a physical game, and the players, the Southern Wesleyan players, when they're having to lay against those big bodies trying to charge them off the ball, that takes its toll. The second half, you'll see it. When you have a much bigger team that you're playing, it doesn't mean that the team is not playing. The bigger team is not playing fairly. They are. But, you know, when a little guy, when a 140-pound guy is leaning up against a 180-pound guy for 90 minutes, that'll plumb tucker you.
good position to attack, but gave the ball away there.
Now he's looking up. He has his head up. That's a nice piece of work by that player. By number 11.
That's Micah Inafuku, all the way from Hawaii. Closest thing we have to an international player.
Nice little chip shot over and into space.
All the way back to midfield, and it'll be a reset.
I don't know who the left back was over on the far side, but he was hustling hard to get back and to give depth to the defense, and he did. He was able to be there and clear the ball. Good things we're seeing.
Yeah, I think the Bruins have really tightened up their defense since those first few minutes, and you're seeing a lot of the runs. Nice stop by Sandy as that one. They were trying to cross that through. Good stop by Sandy. But I think they've really tightened up their defense as a whole and not letting quite so many guys run free down the outside. Part of it is I really do think that the Warriors are just a faster team. Like if you just had a foot race across the field, I think a lot of their players will end up winning them.
Yeah, they're quick. They're you could see that when they were warming up. They have some speed.
But the fastest team does not always win.
No, but they get there first.
Yes.
and that has a lot to do with who wins.
See, great hustle there, right there, like that one where he slides before and then the player almost runs over it. What, like, whose fault is that really?
Well, it's this player back here got clipped pretty good, and one on the ground. He really did get clipped pretty good. That is so very painful.
Well, it's Jonathan Ruiz they're calling to stop the clock.
An injury here, and they are stopping the clock.
Ruiz trying to help him to his feet. Guy over there with him is Nicholas Luck, who was the one who scored their goal early on in the match. It's 5 minutes in, and then 5 minutes later, the Bruins equalized it. That's where we're at, 1-1. Almost 34 minutes in, so about 11 minutes till halftime. And it's been a fantastic game. Crowd's really gotten into it. Players are humming around the field quite rapidly. And looking forward to seeing who will be the next to break this tie.
And speaking of the crowd, I've been around a lot of turkey bowls and those who are listening will understand exactly what the turkey bowl is when it was played on Thanksgiving Day. And it had huge crowds. I believe this surpasses almost all. I've seen some folks on the far side at turkey bowls over the years, but this stadium holds the cement seats, if you will, holds about close to 3,000. And the folks around here, we've got to have, again, I'm making a guesstimate here. I would say we're between 5,000 and 6,000 people around this pitch tonight, and that is a ton of folks. Of course, they're so packed back into corners. And I see the refreshment tent over there is well attended. So we may even have more than that. Nice move. Centered the ball up, and a goal. Yes.
That was a beautiful move by Raul Canelos. He's the one that came so close twice. And that one, we had the cross coming across, and that scissor kick attempt went right through him. And I think both Sandy and the defense was expecting the scissor kicker to get a piece of it. Instead, it went right to Canelos, puts it in the open side of the net. And once again, the Warriors are on top.
Yep, he was unmarked, and that is simply going to happen. Canelos did a very nice job putting the ball in the back of the net, lower corner, no chance for the goalkeeper. But when you allow somebody, particularly with that skill set, to remain unmarked, well, the ball's going to end up in the back of the net as it did. 2-1 the score. Southern Wesleyan in the lead. We are about 35 minutes now into the match.
But we saw the Bruins answer within 5 minutes last time when they gave up a goal and had a lot of good opportunities, a couple open looks they just barely missed off to the side. So expect them to keep attacking here with every bit as much ferocity as they have before.
Well, we've seen those wingers. I think we've talked about this a little before. We've seen wingers on both flanks unmarked and moving up the pitch, and they're just going to hurt us badly unless we can start marking these people.
Another example of it there is when about halfway down the field on the one kick. Southern Wesleyan just totally controlling the tempo right now. And that's one of the advantages of playing in the lead. You can really kind of dictate. He's offsides.
Yep.
Canelo's trying for goal number 2 there, but he was off by a good ways, and referee was quick to cut that one short. But the speed of these players has been incredible.
Indirect free kick as we get the play started again. Knock the ball back to goalkeeper Sandy, who's looking for a good way, and nice service. That's what we're talking about. Goalkeepers can be a wonderful offensive weapon. They have great vision of the entire field, and when they serve the ball, throw it, take a free kick, they generally can do a very, very good job.
Sandy will get another chance to do it here. Called off Joel Cave. Lands right in the middle, about 3 or 4 people. And there again, we're just seeing that excellent touch from Southern Wesleyan. Not jabbing at it, but just as it comes by, just a swift little movement.
Just pushing it around. That's all it takes. Looking for space. Very almost casual. Good players can do that. They knock the ball. That was a nice one touch. And very often we think we have to trap the ball and then pass it. It was a nice one touch pass there by a Central Wesleyan player. Little negative play, taking the ball backwards. Very smart thing to do. Stepping over the ball. Pulled the Bob Jones player forward. That's a good change field. See how he traps the ball. Very nicely off the chest and pushes it up. Taking it up the right flank and serving it long. There's one of those wingers unmarked again.
I do wonder if Coach McCormick is going to make a change related to that during halftime. See if they're going to have somebody that maybe plays a little bit farther over to the side. Flag goes up from the assistant referee, but it's put back down.
He thought that was a foul, but the referee thought otherwise. And good play by goalkeeper Sandy, coming out, taking the ball, moving up with it. He has 6 seconds to deliver the ball back into play, so there's no big hurry. Take your time, look for space, and he did. This is a nice exploitation of space here. And that is 2. Ball down the touchline, and he'll play it out of bounds. Well done. Nice sportsmanship there between the 2 players on the opposite teams. It's a nice little flick. Now serve it up.
Ryan McCarty is the one trying to chase that one down. Got the pass from Tommy Sims.
Could have made just a little better decision there and taken the ball and just served it up rather than trying to pull it back. But again, those are learning things, and the players will learn.
Nice switch fields into the middle and didn't really get enough of it.
Well, Nate, who would you say the fastest player out there is?
Well, I'm tempted to say that it very well could be Canelos.
He's mighty quick. That's my choice. I think he's awfully fast. That's number 11, and he's just everywhere. I don't see any intimidators out there. Not at this play, not at this level. Central Wesleyan is a Methodist school, and really some wonderful folks over there. I've refereed at that school for years and years before I retired from refereeing. But their coach, a man that was coaching for years, Dr. Keith Connor, is just a splendid gentleman, and he would, if any of his players ever gave any referee, no matter how bad the call we may have made, he just would not let any of the players dissent. Fine gentleman, although sometimes referees, including this one, that deserved a little dissent.
But I think both teams are doing an excellent job playing with intensity and a lot of passion without fouling for the most part.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's gonna. Listen, this is an intense. You get inside that paint, and you're competitive, and there is, well, you are simply going to be intense. And when you're intense, you should be intense. I'll put it that way. When you are intense, then things are going to happen. I mean, people are going to get thumped. And that doesn't mean that you, again, we send them to jail. It just means they get thumped, and you call the foul and you go on with it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good give and goes from Southern Wesleyan. We've seen a little bit of it with the Bruins as well. But I think on the whole, their passes are a little bit less accurate. And some of them are just not as well advised, trying to push things a little bit too much, trying to force a little bit too much.
That was a good call for the referee. The player had his hand up on the Southern Wesleyan player had his hand up on the back and the head of the Bob Jones player. The call was made. I mean, it's the way it is. He was going up for the ball. The white player didn't go up, so his hand was there. That's fine. That's part of the game.
Less than 4 minutes to go until halftime. Bruins trying to equalize a 2-1 game.
Nice ball, nicely headed away by a defender. And let's look and see what we have. That's a good use of space there. But you know, we need a little crisper tackle, or rather trap, so we can get the ball. Oh, that's a good one. Nice ball.
It's a sloppy turnover and a great pass. Cutting to the inside off the head. Sandy there to make the grab. Punches it way high in the air.
Oh, unlucky. Unlucky.
Bad bounce there. Overly thought he had it.
I suspect the BJ coach will tell the goalkeeper, look, when your player is 5'6" and you're 6'3", maybe you want to catch the ball rather than punch it away.
That's a good cross header.
Goal.
Another one off the crossbar. Did he save it out?
The flag is up. It looked like it was in. Well, okay, it is a goal.
Yep, it is a goal.
Yep.
That's the second one of the game off the inside of the crossbar. That is incredibly hard to do.
Warriors goal.
Trying to see who it is officially. Once again, so many bodies in there. Hard to say who it was that officially put that one away.
That was a nice piece of refereeing. The assistant referee saw the ball. One of the things when we're up at a higher elevation here in the press box, we can sort of see that ball. It certainly looked from here as if it did cross the goal line, and the assistant referee held his ground. When the referee looked at him, he sprinted up the touchline to say, we had a goal. So that was a nice piece of refereeing.
Yeah, difficult for the Bruins, though. That's the second one that's just been an absolutely perfect shot. And that's just skill of Southern Wesleyan right now showing through. They have a 2-goal lead with 2 minutes to go in the first half, 3-1. And a little bit of, once again, sloppy play there leading to a turnover. This could be bad.
Nice overlap.
It's just the superior speed right there.
And skill. He played the ball very nicely. Let the player speed get ahead of him. He pulled the ball back. Very nice. And a long shot high. Goal kick for the Bruins. About a minute and a half remaining in half. Again, the score 3-1. We're on the short side of the score. Southern Wesleyan 3, BJ 1. Coming up at halftime, we will be leaving the air just a little bit, and you'll be, I think, able to see some certain things on your screen, but we won't be doing any announcing until the second half. Been a very, very good game. It's been fun to see how the players are playing. And a lot of stuff to learn.
Sims with a great job with his positioning right there.
Nice cross.
Good cross, but well defended.
Nice defending. Nice defending.
Nice piece of footwork there by Tommy Sims, though, holding his ground, maintaining excellent position, and getting a really nice sharp cross across. And I think this may be our first corner, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it might be, yes.
Man, that was not a good corner kick at all. Right to the defense.
Well, fortunately, they gave it back to us, so we'll take it. 30 seconds or so remaining in the half. And the last.
Got to throw
seconds.
it in soon here. Remember, you cannot be offside on a throw-in. That's just hammered way high in the air, and that's going to go out of bounds. 15 seconds. Hubbard with it. 5 seconds. And that's how the half will end. 3-1. Warriors with the edge. Paul, what are your thoughts on that first half?
At the end of the first half, the score,
Well,
Warriors
I think
3,
it was a very good half. I think our players came out to play. I think they were physical. They were outskilled because these South American players are very, very good, very quick feet, very fast, and simply stayed at home. You cannot let wingers run down both flanks unmarked and not expect something bad to happen. And we're up, we're down 2 goals, 3-1 the score. But I think, as I mentioned during the match, during the first half, that the size of our players could take a goal. We don't want anybody getting hurt out here, but you know there is some physical contact being going on, and when these little fellas at Southern Wesleyan are laying against the big fellas at Bob Jones, that could tire them out a little bit, and that could give us a leg up, so to speak. Well, we'll take a break and be back with you right after halftime. Hope things are going well with you, and stay right where you are, right by that computer.
Fans, be sure to tell your friends and family back at home to visit BJUBruins.com/live to see tonight's game webcast live in high definition. They can also check out the chat feature and the photo stream. To get your pictures on the Bruins website, text or email your photos to live@bju.edu. Fans, do you have your Bruins gear yet? Stop by the Bruins store located near the Davis Fieldhouse to pick up the latest Bruin gear. We've got t-shirts, growl towels, and so much more. Stop by the Bruins store tonight and go Bruins! The Alumni Yard Sale is a site dedicated to helping you buy and sell items. Whether it's books, electronics, furniture, or just about anything else, the Alumni Yard Sale is here to help. Sign up today at alumniyardsale.com. And fans, remember to check out the Bruin vending area located on the east end of the stadium. Whether it's chicken, barbecue, funnel cakes, cold drinks, or cupcakes, stop by to satisfy all your cravings. The Bruins would like to thank the following vendors being in attendance at tonight's games: Bojangles, Funnelicious, Chick-fil-A, Chubby's Cupcakes, Rita's Italian Ice, and Tom's Barbecue. Hey fans, who wants a t-shirt? Make some noise!
Well, Nate, we have a game. I think our players are doing very, very well. They, however, need to mark up a little bit. First half, I think we saw Southern Wesleyan's wingers unmarked, running down both flanks, and that hurt us. The score is 3-1. We have 45 more minutes of soccer, and we sure do hope that we're able to capitalize. We need to be a little more methodical. I think our lads can learn a little from these fellas.
Yeah, we have seen a textbook example of controlling the play and being precise and almost perfect with the passing. Southern Wesleyan has done an excellent job of just surveying the field and having what you mentioned last game, that vision, seeing where people are, where they're going to go, and they have been spot on with their passes, and that has opened up all 3 of their goal-scoring opportunities. None of them have been boom ball. It's been good passing, looking where people are, and just finishing the shot. That's one thing BJU also needs to work on. They had a couple great opportunities to make this a 3-3 game, but just completely missed wide on the shot. One messed up pass, a rare messed up pass for Southern Wesleyan that was shot wide, and then a really nice drive inside that was just put off the outside of the foot. So I think the Bruins have the ability, but like you said, they need to be more methodical. Think about, okay, we aren't going to play boom ball and just hit it down, hope somebody can beat their guys, because Southern Wesleyan has the speed advantage, but the Bruins have the size advantage, and if they're smart and they think through, 3-1 is a big deficit to make up, but they can do it.
Sure they can. It's 45 minutes, and players are going to show some fatigue as the game progresses. But I think that we're going to see an interesting. I'm interested in particularly seeing how this Southern Wesleyan team will square up with the players, with the size of the Bob Jones Bruins. They're significantly outweighed, and our players are playing a somewhat physical game. They're putting bodies on people, as they should. So we'll see if that is going to be an issue as the game begins. Well, the referees are calling the teams back together, and players are having one more word with their coaches, and they're just about ready to begin the second half, trying to loosen things up. Much more comfortable, Nate, now than it was for the women's game when it was just downright humid and hot.
Oh yeah, it was pretty brutal conditions, and just reminds me of I think a couple weeks we have.
All right, Bruin Nation, it's a Friday night in Alumni Stadium. All we need in this place is a little bit more noise. Let's hear it for your BJU Bruins.
Fletcher Molik's on the PA there, getting the crowd excited, but just really need to be a little bit sharper on the ball. But just want to see, there's a lot of talented playmakers on the Bruins, just getting them in the right places at the right time and making smart decisions with the ball. That'll be key for this half. Bruins have possession to start the half in a 3-1 hole. 45 minutes of soccer coming up. I think they're waiting on the clock.
I think they are. I also think that PA announcer needs a little more enthusiasm. I like his style. Here we go. Ball is kicked off. And we're starting off right. I like to see the ball knock square and move forward. Good one-touch pass there. That little fella took him on.
Yeah, before the takeaway, though, that was the right idea of the precise passing.
You're exactly right.
And now the speed of those wingers coming through, once again, the speed in and the cross in. Seen that all the time. And the target there was a guy who has already scored once, and that's Raul Canelos. A lot of speed for the little guy, and I have a feeling he'd probably be just as good with his head as he is with his feet.
Another corner ball coming up. And we'll see if it's going to be a long service or rather a short service. We'll see.
John Sandy still in goal. All 3 of the ones he let in were incredibly difficult to stop. So not surprised to see him stay in here for the next half. That was a little bit of just a clear and right to the sweeper, so not very effective.
I'm surprised that we're not getting a little more height on the ball. Now, you never want to float a ball in, but they're not driving the ball to their, that is Southern Wesleyan is not driving the ball on these corners as they could. if they float them, they're going to lose every one because of the height advantage. But if you drive the ball, that was just it was a little short. They need to get it out around the 18 or so, or between the penalty spot around 12 yards out would work fine. But I've been surprised in all of their plays, and that's a player that's running free now. See how he does it? Goal. Just
barely inside, and that was Douglas Andrade right there. We mentioned his name earlier about how deadly he could be, and that was just waiting right on the line with the defenders as soon as the ball was played. Went right past him, had a really unchecked run at the goal, and just barely placed it inside the far post. Sandy dove down for it, almost got a glove on it, but
yeah, if a goalkeeper is left one-on-one with a player, that player should always finish. And unfortunately, we didn't finish.
Talk about one-on-one with the goalie. Off the post!
Off the post! Oh. How can that be? Well, it just was.
Jordan Allen took that all the way from midfield, just a little bit of give and go. Got some clearance and bounces it off the post. That's what we're talking about with missed opportunities. That's the third one that has been so close. Just could not do it, and that's really hurting the Bruins right now.
Not sure. I guess he's all right. I thought the goalkeeper was a little injured. Maybe he was making an equipment adjustment. I'm sorry that it's 4-1. We just made a mistake and not marked up again. We're just not looking behind us. We can't let these front runners go unmarked. That's
right there again. Well, this time it's offside.
Yeah, it was off.
That was very close, though. A step or two, and he would have been onside.
Yep.
Another long send to the wing. We've seen that over and over and over again, and it's been very effective for them, but that one goes out of bounds.
Southern Wesleyan setting up again, knocking balls right to the middle. Nice ball, nice through ball attempt. These guys move very, very nicely. Now, how are we moving? We're moving behind our players. Move to space, boys. Move to space.
The Bruins need to find a way to stop those wing players. They just have not come up with an answer so far. Almost every goal has come off of it getting down the field that way, working into the middle, and then a finish.
We just can't jump in like we did. It's a direct kick. Foul.
Mark Sturr, the one knocked it down on the play. It's looking like David Overly, who's going to send it upfield. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not Overly either. It's Jonathan McLean. One disadvantage of being so high is it can be awfully hard to read those numbers sometimes.
It sure can. Those 6s and 4s can look an awful lot alike. Well, at least to my eyes.
In the midfield there, number 25 for BJU. A little fun fact about him. We mentioned it in the other game earlier, but his sister Caitlin is a defender for the women's team. So the siblings both representing the Bruins. Got a man down.
Pardon me, Nate. Referee stopped the clock to attend to a player on the pitch. Is he asking for assistance? With this heat, cramps are always an issue. Those old muscles can cramp up as the lactic acid starts coming in, and it looks like they might be working out a cramp or so. Hope so. The player's up good.
Even though it's considerably cooler, it is still warm outside.
Oh, humidity makes it, well, the word is miserable, I think.
Oh, it just feels so sticky. It's like almost like you're walking through a cloud sometimes.
Well said. Now players are getting back in position. Again, 4-1 the score. We're down by 3 goals. Southern Wesleyan and their South American connection is, well, they're showing us a thing or two, I have to be frank. And our players, I think, are learning and adapting, but these little quick fellas at the front can have very quick feet, very nifty feet.
Anybody who has followed the BJU intramurals for a while will know the name Caleb Franco from the Beta Patriots, and it's the best way I can describe it is like, or playing 11 Caleb Franco is all guys with tons of speed, great footwork, and just good finishing skills. And they all happen to be short. Or at least most of them.
Sure.
Working the ball up well right here. Just a lot of blue bodies in there, though. Really tough to squeak it through. And they've had a couple times where they have, but for the most part, the Warriors' defense has been holding out.
Oh, but we're chasing down pretty good. We're forcing play. The front runners are up. Unlike the last game. Unlike the last game, we aren't seeing all play at one end of the field. We are seeing some pretty nice stuff right here at midfield, and that's where you should build from the back or build from the midfield, and both teams are attempting to do that. Another goal kick. Everyone's setting up, getting ready for it.
Still plenty of time for the Bruins to start mounting a comeback. But their defense will have to hold strong. I really don't think they can afford to give up any more goals if they have any chance of winning this. Lehman wins it there.
Good use of the body. A nice through ball. Get up, boys, get up. All right. It was an interesting decision by our player when he let the ball run out of bounds. Apparently he thought he probably couldn't serve it in. So a good decision on his part. Ball played back.
That was a nice trap right there. Stopped it dead where it was.
And that was a foul there.
You can tell that the Bruins are fighting hard for it, and they're finding some openings, but they still just haven't not been able to finish yet this half. Got it in close there again, but still could not find Twine yet.
Direct free kick taken by Southern Wesleyan. Right to the shoelaces of a player. Nice through ball. And running step for step, but giving up a corner kick there. We'll see if Southern Wesleyan drives the ball this time or floats it in, or maybe they'll even have a short play. I haven't detected, Nate, any set pieces here on these corners, and we've seen a number of corner kicks by Southern Wesleyan. They just seem to kind of rear back and kick it.
A little bit of a fake there. Showing a guy coming out for a short one, but he was marked very heavily.
Our players are marking up well. And oh, how did that happen? I think it ricocheted off one of our players.
It's Joey Capone.
Joey Capone.
Off the deflection.
Believe it was deflected off someone. Just another quick, snappy shot that made its way through. 5-1 the score now. Southern Wesleyan on top.
That was just a weird one. It hit off at least one person. And once again, Sandy's got to be feeling a little disheartened right now, as it just seems like the Warriors are really outplaying the Bruins in pretty much every way.
Fans, be sure to stay tuned after tonight's game for our fireworks show brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Bruins bringing the ball up the pitch, looking for an opportunity, but gave the ball away again.
8 minutes into the half, and Warriors have already struck 2 more times to increase their lead to 5-1. It's 3-1 at the half. Bruins have had an opportunity or two, but not been able to capitalize.
Just real quick, nifty feet. These South American fellas from Bogota, Colombia, or Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Brazil. They just are able to reach in so quickly and pull the ball out and snap a shot right in the middle of a crowd. I'm amazed at how quickly and how hard shots are coming out of a crowd.
And accurately too.
Indeed.
That's been a big problem for the Bruins, has been the accuracy.
You have got to get a foot on the ball or get your body between the ball and the goal if you expect it to stay out of the goal mouth.
Lehman a little sloppy with it there, let it get too far away from it, but takes it right back. This is a good chance right here. If they use this near side, maybe. See if they see it. He's taken down. That'll be a direct free kick.
Yeah, I think that might have been a bit of a retaliation. We whacked a guy a little bit up at midfield there, and I think that may have been a retaliation. Referee sets the wall. 10 yards, have to be 10 yards off the ball before a free kick can be taken. Of course, the attacking team doesn't have to wait, but if the referee stops play, then they do. So they'll wait for a whistle now to commence play again. The whistle sounded. Here comes a shot, too high, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, I almost had a feeling that was going to happen, just because it's so hard to get it over the wall but under the crossbar and past the goalie. It's incredibly difficult. It's almost better to just swing it wide where the wall isn't and then take a direct shot from there, rather than trying to bend it over and down. Is an incredibly difficult shot. Even for some of the best in the world, that's a difficult shot.
Oh, lovely ball. Lovely pass. This is how you work it in the middle of a crowd. That's nice. I mean, that's just nice.
Precision and finding open players and open space. Now they got an open guy down here, and look at that right there. Just seeing the field, seeing who's open. Never staying long over a mistake. Just keep pushing it, keep finding people, keep moving.
Using both feet. American players tend to be very one-footed. Generally, they're right foot. European and South American players are almost always ambidextrous,
which is very, very, very helpful.
Oh my, it's an absolute necessity if you're going to play the game the way it was supposed to be played. Southern Wesleyan throwing the ball in, and we're looking for an opportunity to clear the ball out right now. We do, and it is another throw in for Southern Wesleyan.
Yeah, you feel especially in the second half that they are really controlling the game. You'll see flashes of opportunity here and there for the Bruins, but on the whole, you really have to say the Warriors have controlled this game.
They have indeed.
And of course, Coach McCormick and John Grant, the assistant, will be talking about a lot in practice, ways to improve, and in a lot of ways to imitate what we've seen from the boys in blue tonight.
Another smart play. You know, if you can't win the ball, knock it off an opponent so it goes out of bounds. I mean, that stuff wasn't happenstance. That wasn't an accident. That's a planned play. Knock it off an opponent, knock it out of bounds, so you get the throw in.
And even just look at that touch right there. Just bounced it off the ground once and took it right out of the air, and a beautiful pass down the sideline.
Referee let that play go. Somebody grabbed a Southern Wesleyan's arm, player's arm, and he allowed play to go and it was a good call. It was a good no call because he was moving forward, didn't lose an advantage, didn't lose the momentum, and was able to control it and pass it to a teammate, and the attack was going. I think we've seen some good refereeing tonight.
Yeah, I know for the Bruins too, it's hard to really play all out when you see the scoreboard the way it is. You know, when it's 1-0 or 2-1, it's a whole lot easier to be going all out than when you see your 4 goals down with about a half hour left. And this is a good run here. Good defense from behind. Will it be a whistle?
Shouldn't be. He cleared the ball, got there first. If a player hits ball then opponent, that's a fair charge, a fair tackle. If he hits opponent then ball, that's a foul. And inside the box, it would have been a penalty because it would have been a direct. But he cleared the ball first and then hit the player. And sometimes a play can be pretty hard.
And that was Joel Cave, the junior defenseman, came up with the big stop there.
You can see the experience of some of the players. I noticed when Southern Wesleyan was when our player was in the air. Southern Wesleyan guy got up close and just touched him enough with his hand to take him off his header, and he missed the header. That's experience, albeit a foul, but an experience. But they don't have numbers up.
But they still are showing that speed even here well into the second half.
Yep.
Well-conditioned team that playing very well as a unit, very strong right now, up 5-1. Just over a half hour to go in this game. Has to come to a complete stop, correct?
Yes, it does. And it's another headsy play. I mean, the player is supposed to get off the ball, but you know he was giving his players an opportunity.
That was a nice turn by Matt Moore. Oh, another chance there. That was a great idea by Matt Moore, though. He drew the goalie over, then sent it across, had two guys cutting in. Neither of them could get there.
Close. What do they say? Close counts and
horseshoes and hand grenades.
Hand grenades, that's right.
Unfortunately, soccer, it does not.
You in the military, Nate?
No.
Not yet?
No. But I've played plenty of horseshoes.
Yes, sir. I've thrown a few grenades in my day. Another through ball. Should be cleared out nicely.
It's so tough to really assess how the Bruins are doing, because you see these flashes of fantastic play, but then just overall they're really being dominated by a superior team right now. You see little bits and pieces of things that could make for a great team, but just have not been able to finish any of the excellent opportunities that they've generated for themselves. With the exception of that nice putback early on in the game, about 10 minutes in. Have not scored since, and Southern Wesleyan has mounted up a 4-goal lead since that equalizer.
Bruins are substituting. 2 players coming on, 2 going off. And the referee's holding up play and says, let's get it back into play. 5-1 the score, and Southern Wesleyan on top. We do have about 29.5 minutes or so to go, 29 minutes. I noticed the player stepping over the ball, running at the ball, but stepping over it and allowing it to run through to one of his teammates.
Just good trickery and misdirection can be very, very effective.
Indeed.
Once again, this one wing is wide open.
And there
he's
comes
got
the
it
through ball.
right down there.
Oh,
nice kickback, no look. They've got nice diving header there. Clear it out.
I don't think at this point that the size advantage is an advantage at all. The Southern Wesleyan folks seem to be moving very nicely.
It's a little bit of a cleat to the back there of Matt Moore. Good call. He's been active, but unfortunately has not found the net yet. This is a good chance, though, here. They've got a lot of guys up near the box. This is, if you can loft it in and get a good header, which is what they're trying to do, but it goes too high, goalie punches it out. But that's one area where having some height can be a huge advantage.
You bet.
If used well. Beatles with a nice cross. If you can turn the corner. Good speed and good defense right there. They both go down. No call. Good cross again. Header. Goal! That was a beautiful cross.
Bruins goal!
I think that was Mark Sturr, number 28, waiting to see till he turns, and I can see his jersey. Not sure, still waiting for him to turn around. That was a great header. Or was that Jordan Allen, number 3?
Number 3 is
Jordan Allen.
Yeah, Jordan Allen.
I think is that who you think it was?
That's who I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jordan Allen, the coach of Beta last year on their championship run, putting a beautiful header into the side of the goal. Very encouraging to see that from the Bruins. Good to finish an excellent ball movement down here. Even when both players went down, no whistle, just keep playing. And that was a fantastic cross. Great chance to just put the head down into it. Well done by the Bruins. Now down by 3. 26.5 minutes to go in this contest.
The score is 5-2. One thing South American folks always do when they get bumped a bit, they go down and roll around a little. you never really tell if they're injured. In fact, some referees rightly will caution a player if he takes a dive and rolls around and he really isn't injured, particularly near the end of the game. He is trying to waste time.
Drag it out and waste time, yeah.
Sure.
Although I think the Europeans are still worse about that.
Well,
on the whole.
They may be. But, this is a style of play I noticed. These kids are just so savvy in playing. Put both arms back and grab the defender behind you and keep him off. That was a save. Ball headed out of bounds for a corner kick.
That was quite a laser of a kick.
Yeah, it sure was.
Of course, they were very glad that it was headed over the goal and not into the goal, as we unfortunately witnessed last game.
And here's a bit of player taking it easy, getting on over here, getting over to the far side so the kick can be taken.
Combination of saving energy and wasting time all at the same time. Good head out, though.
Serve it back, and it'll be wide.
And high.
And high. Lots and lots and lots of folks here tonight. My, what a crowd. Well, let me see who else may be enjoying this game, and we hope everyone is. We certainly want to welcome the dozens and dozens of alumni that are having Bruins parties tonight. One, for instance, up in Matthews, North Carolina, where they're watching this game via the webcast at the Bible Baptist Church. Welcome, friends. I hope you're still with us.
Oh, great opportunity here. Here's Ryan Beatles. Beatles with the cross. Puts it in!
Bruins goal! Jordan Allen!
Ryan Beatles with a perfect cross, and once again, they get the finish. Lead is down to 2.
Well, turnabout fair play. We had a winger unmarked who came down and was able to cross the ball nicely. You can't let these front runners go unmarked, or they're going to hurt you on both teams. So we're seeing.
And that one was Matt Moore, the freshman.
Freshman. He's got a good long career ahead of him.
He's been so active around the goal, as I mentioned earlier, and that was just fantastic play from Beatles, too. Once again, pulling down to that corner, and that was a solid cross, completely on the ground. Very easy to one time. And Matt Moore puts it away. And you can really feel the crowd getting into this one. A game that just a few minutes ago looked out of reach. Now looks like it could be the start of a comeback.
There's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
I'm sorry, 5-3, 23 and a half minutes to go yet. Bruins showing some great life, and we've seen a more methodical approach and a lot of good runs. Good takeaway by Southern Wesleyan. You know, they're going to cinch up the defense here after allowing those 2 quick goals, but almost carbon copy goals, really. Just coming from different sides of the field, bringing the ball down the outside, cross in, and you know, that's how Southern Wesleyan has gotten so many of theirs. And this kind of play right here, good defense though. Great hustle back.
Good tackle, ball knocked away. Ball first, then the player. No foul. He's allowing substitutes to come in. Again, the second half in NCAA rules, you can have a second entry or a re-entry, but only in the second half. If you leave in the first half, you cannot come back in. If you leave in any of the overtime periods, you cannot re-enter the match in that period. I think we're going to see Southern Wesleyan pick up the intensity. When you're up 3 or 4 goals, you can kind of relax, but all of a sudden it's a ball game here. 5-3 the score. Still the Bruins on the 3 end of the score. Nice service, knocked it down, but a good ball not taken out of the air.
And you see them hustling to the ball, doing all they can. Good control there, but a little bit of miscommunication. Beatles, same thing there. Thought he had a guy behind him, and he didn't. Yeah, I'd expect Southern Wesleyan to really ratchet up the pressure here a bit, try to put in at least one more. This could be it here. Nope, that'll be a corner instead.
The referee, I think, is giving a goal kick.
Oh, okay. It's good defensive positioning then. Bruins down 5-3, just under 22 minutes to go. They gave up an early goal about 5 minutes in, then equalized it at about the 10-minute mark. Gave up 4 straight goals over the end of the first half, start of the second half, and now have scored 2 unanswered so far behind the legs of, well, the head of Jordan Allen and the foot of Matt Moore.
I'm impressed how Southern Wesleyan uses negative play. They're not afraid to knock the ball back. So that, and they have good depth on their support. So they're a solid team.
3-on-4 for them right now.
Got to look up. We've got to look before we knock these balls to 3 defenders.
He wants an offsides. He's not going to get one. Good save by Sandy. Here comes the second effort, and the defense is there first.
Yeah, we give him another opportunity. Goal.
I think that was 21.
Yep. 21 hit it.
And that's going to be Douglas Andrade again.
Yep, he has scored. Is this his second goal or third? Second, I think.
Well, there's a couple we don't know who scored them, but we know he scored at least 2.
Now, you can't let that guy stand at the 20-yard line unmarked. And
it was an excellent first stop, and we had a chance to clear it deep, and we only cleared it very short ways and right to the Warriors.
Just clearing it across the middle again, and our left back could have turned the ball to the touch line and cleared it up the touch line, but rather we cleared it across the middle and paid for it.
See how the Bruins respond to the latest setback here of this game. Now 6-3 Warriors.
Another through ball, and nice.
Good drop back. That's a shot. I think we touched it though. Nope. They're going to say it squeaked through untouched. Couldn't tell if they just had a lot of spin on it or if it glanced off a foot. They're going to say it just had a lot of spin on it.
Substitutions coming in. And we're about to have the kickoff again here as we resume play. Again, the score now 6-3, Southern Wesleyan on top.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing why they had such a solid year last year. Really moved the ball well.
They are a National Christian College Athletic Association team, aren't they? I believe they are.
Oh, here we go.
Patience,
could it be Beatles
patience,
again?
Patience.
And just taken away right there.
Goal kick.
Beatles knocks it out. Beatles had a good chance there. He played with it a little bit too long. Gave the Warriors too much time. And good defense picked his pocket.
Well, the defender didn't jump in. He squared up, got his shoulder square to the ball and to the attacking player, and just was patient and waited rather than jump in. He made the attacking player commit himself before the defender committed himself. And when that happens, almost always the defender is going to win the ball.
That trademark of good defense right there.
You bet. You bet.
Under 20 minutes to go. Bruins have scored 3, but unfortunately have allowed twice that many. Still trying to climb back into this one.
I thought we must have an injury. The clock is stopped at we're 70 minutes and 49 seconds into this 90-minute match. Again, the score is 6-3. The Southern Wesleyan Warriors on top. Number 7 is apparently the injured player for the Warriors. He's leaving the field. And that is Daniel Pena.
And he's one of their best players. It's actually on the SSAC All-Freshman team last year.
Well, I don't think anyone could say this has not been a successful venture for the first return in more than 7 decades to intercollegiate competition for Bob Jones University. It has been a dandy night. Everybody's having a wonderful time. Of course, the time would be better if the score were a little different. But
well, this is true. But even so, I think, you know, one thing that would have made the girls' game easier is if they had scored at the end to make it 2-1. You know, because I don't know, there's something about even when you lose, if you score, you feel like you at least have a little bit of a moral victory.
You bet.
Getting shut out just, I don't know, it just has such a draining effect on you. Whereas for the Bruins, although, yes, they've really struggled on defense and have given up 6, we've put 3 goals in. So, you know, you have that feeling like, okay, we do have some firepower, we can score, and, you know, we'll get the defensive problems worked out, we'll get even better on offense, and, you know, we'll start putting some W's on the board.
Sure, and you have something to build on. You know that you can do it. And that thing called confidence is so very important. See how that player pulled the ball back? Very nice. This players, they really have some very nice players.
Yeah, they play the game very, very well. Be interesting to see if they kind of rest on their laurels at all. That was a nice knock out of bounds there to keep it from being an unmarked run down the side.
Take your time, lads. That's it.
Just
over the top.
A lot of that, you'll see a lot of that leaning back. It's almost impossible to keep the ball down when you're leaning back into it. You have to keep over top of the ball, get that good solid drive, but can't be falling backwards while you're shooting. It's almost always going to go over the net. Bruins playing pretty aggressively up. They've got 6 of their players in front of the line. Kick will go almost all the way to midfield, not quite.
That was a clumsy play by the blue team. I mean, I'm not sure why you would want to do a scissors kick when you have players all around you. It's risky for safety purposes, and you're risking a foul on your for a dangerous play foul. It's a direct free kick. The Southern Wesleyan team will be taking it. The Warriors knock the ball square, bring it over here, and bring it still further. The ball is doing the work for these Warriors right now, that's for sure. Another play, another nifty play. He was blocked out, so what did he do? He played the ball off an opponent and out of bounds, so it is their throw-in.
Oh, that's a great pass into the middle.
And nice
diving save by Sandy.
Nice save, Mr. Sandy. Well done.
That was Alejandro Sanchez that almost had a goal, but fantastic job by Sandy. He's had a bit of a rough night, some bad luck, some just his teammates letting him down on defense, and some just weird bounces, 2 off the inside of the crossbar. But at the end of the day, he has made some fantastic saves as well.
He has indeed.
Even on that last goal, he made a great stop on the first effort, and his team just didn't clear it out enough.
Corner kick coming up. Again, a low driving shot. Oh, I thought we were going to have a goal, but now we do have a goal.
The refs, was the flag for the goal or was the flag for an infraction?
No, I'm afraid it is a goal.
Warriors.
I think the flag went up, letting the referee know the ball was across the goal line. 7-3 the score.
Not sure. I almost think that was Maladon from the defender who came all the way up and ended up finishing that one. I'm not sure. I can't tell if it went in the first effort or the second one. It definitely went in the second one, but I'm not sure which one was the official, the first or the second.
The assistant referee raised his flag early, and perhaps it did cross the goal line. All it had, the whole of the ball, every bit of the ball has to cross the goal line. It can run all the way down and not be, there can be just a little bit of the sphere not crossing the line, and it is not a goal. But if the whole of the ball crosses the goal line or the touch line, it is out of bounds, and if it happens to be between the uprights, it's a goal. And that's where we are now. 7-3 the score. There are, well, what are they, 20 minutes or so left here?
Yeah, about 15.
15 minutes left. My math is bad.
That's a nice takeaway there. Good move around. And will that be a penalty kick?
He's saying it a contact, and that's a right call. The contact happened actually outside the box, and the player fell in.
About 6 inches. Oh, that's got to be frustrating for Ryan McCarty. He was so close. That ball cannot be more than a foot from the box. And once again, I don't think it'd be wise to try to curve it over the wall. He does have a ton of space on the far side as the goalie's playing him near. Oh, nope, now he's going back out. I thought the goalie's going to stay on him near post.
If he can bend the ball, he's got a shot.
Can he bend it? That's actually a really nice cross and in!
Bruins goal!
Fantastic. And they're grabbing the ball and running back saying, we want to get this going as fast as possible. We want to score 3 more in 14 minutes. And that's, let's see. Trying to see who that was that put that in. I believe that was Stephen Lovelace, number 7.
Well, there haven't been any cheap goals that the Bruins have scored. They all have been smokers, clearly to the back of the net, and that was no exception. The ball was there. All right.
It's the second header goal of the half and of the game for the Bruins. Lovelace was one of the anchors of Pi Gamma's team that went to the championship last year. Unable to beat Beta, but it's been a solid contributor for them a couple years in a row and comes up in a big way there. Once again, if they could keep the Warriors from having such free reign at the goal, this would be a very, very close game right now. But definitely almost the exact inverse of the girls game, where we had very little scoring, not a whole lot of great chances either. But this game has just been one opportunity after another, and in the second half, BJU's done a lot better job of capitalizing. Much fewer goals left on the field, so to speak.
Throw in by the white team, of course, the Bob Jones Bruins taking the ball, trying hard, but these little fellas on.
Oh boy, this is trouble right here. Sandy coming out for it.
That's good. That's very nice. That should not have been trouble, and Sandy did very nicely. Did the job very nicely. It was knocked too far in front of the attacker, so the goalkeeper had plenty of opportunity to get it, and he did. But this Southern Wesleyan team has knocked the ball around very well, and they're very cagey. They use their hands a lot, holding players off. Some referees, of course, would call that a little more, but he's considering it a ticky-tacky foul, and probably it is.
A bit of a staying down on the field for a while there. Well, it did not look that bad at all. But Rafael Fernandez taking his time to get back up. Good challenges on the outside. Right now, Warriors have a 7-4 lead on the Bruins with about 12 minutes to go, just a little under. Trying to turn the corner. Decided to go back to the inside.
Nice ball. Oh, my.
Great send. That's got to be a foul.
Penalty. That is a penalty.
That's going to be a PK, and it's going to be for Alejandro Sanchez.
And a caution.
He really kind of just ran him over there. He had a clear look at the goal and got bowled over from behind. Easy call for the ref there, and this could double up the Bruins right now. Big task for Sandy. Although they're going to let Daniel Pena take the kick. The foul was against Alejandro Sanchez. Pena taking his time. As we said, he's one of the most talented scorers on the team.
I'm not sure if the referee is holding play up. Apparently he is. Now, there we go. He has stopped the clock.
Not sure why. I don't see anybody on the field, like, you know, on the ground like they're hurt. Not sure what the deal is there.
The Bruin is leaving the pitch, and he has to be injured. This is not a substitution opportunity, so he must have been injured for the referee to allow a substitute to come in at this point. The clock has been stopped, so we haven't lost any time. Whistle sounds. And it's a goal.
That was just a rocket of a shot there. And penalty kicks, most of the time, the kicker should score.
Absolutely should. And in this case, certainly did. Well, it is 8-4. And we'll get the ball lined up. I'm afraid I see our Bruins walking up a little bit dejected now. But if you like goals in the back of the net, this has been your kind of game with 12 goals being scored here.
8-4 almost sounds like a baseball score, not a soccer game.
Yep.
But in spite of how many goals the Bruins have allowed offensively, I think I think they can be pretty happy with the fact they've scored 4 already. In the opening game, to put 4 in the back of the net, I would think should feel good. I mean, there are a number that they could have had missed. But it's going to be a rare game that you don't miss some opportunities.
Well, they're just knocking the ball around, and that's their tactic now ought to be just to knock it around. I mean,
milk the clock.
Would they like to win? Sure. Of course, in the last 5 minutes of the game, if the winning team substitutes, the clock is stopped at that point. So that's a way that keeps.
Good send. Lost a lot of momentum. Good switch though. He's playing with it too much, and a bad send or bad cross, too high. Opportunity there, but just a few times that he played with it too much. And he was trying to get around to that right foot instead of just taking a nice hit with the left, and it hurt him there.
And that player, the left back, sent the ball up the touch line with his left foot after he knocked the ball around a bit with his right foot. So it hurts a soccer team when their right feet dominate play. You've got to be able to use both of those feet.
I'm sure that's something that Coach McCormick's going to be talking about in practice.
Sure.
Another thing I've noticed about Southern Wesleyan is they love to go to the ground and slide.
Well, it's an effective way to win the ball, and unfortunately we gave the ball away there, but we'll get it back.
Beardsley they were trying to go for.
A little less than 9 minutes remaining.
It has been, if nothing else, it has been an exciting game.
It sure has been. It's given the crowd enough opportunity to cheer and be happy, and you know, some of these college students in front of us here, they don't know what the score is. They're just out here having a great time, and it's a good thing to have a good time.
And it's good to rally around the school too. I mean, even when like in the girls game, you don't score, you can still look at positive aspects.
Sure.
And still praise the virtue while not focusing exclusively on the mistakes. Of course, you seek to correct the mistakes, but
we need to change fields here, and we do. Don't give it up.
A lot of pressure on him right now. Get a throw in though. See a little more movement on that throw in would be nice.
Southern Wesleyan has a couple of players that they're almost always coming after the play. That's good defending when two defenders are coming to one player with the ball. A foul committed by the Bruins, and a little quick free kick taken. Good use of space there. Good give and go. Sort of a reverse overlap. He went to the inside rather than the outside, but it worked. They exploited space. This game is nothing shot, and it's wide and high. Goal kick for the Bruins, but this game is really nothing but an exploitation of space, and it's little battles that take place, Nate, all over the pitch, and you win one battle and you move further down toward the goal of winning the game and the goal of putting the ball in the back of the net. Southern Wesleyan has done a very nice job at that tonight, and we certainly don't want to take that away from them, nor could we.
No, I mean, they have done an excellent job. I mean, obviously the Bruins have found some holes in their defense, but their offensive ability and just overall control, the pace, the ball, the passes, the space has been excellent.
Yeah, if you knock the ball forward enough as we have, somebody's going to be out of position from time to time, and there's a lot of work that can, and I'm sure the coach of Southern Wesleyan will say needs to be done. You can't let those through balls beat you like that, and that's what started almost all of our scoring. A through ball, we've run on it, we've either knocked it in or headed it in, but there's some work that this team needs to do as well as the season progresses.
Good job coming out there by Sandy to keep it from being another breakaway. 6 minutes to go here in the first ever BJU Bruins men's soccer game. Put 4 on the board, but trail 4-8 against the Southern Wesleyan Warriors.
And that's a foul. We've got a direct kick. Not sure what the purpose of that tackle was, trying to come from behind and reach around, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The players bounce up and there's no injury. That's always a good sign. We don't want that to happen, of course.
This is one I could see going in for a header on. That was the intent, but well defended. That's just cleared way down. Nobody there, but that was just to eat some time, I think.
Oh, sure.
I mean, at this point, it's about as good a move as any.
Well, it's a tactic that you see very often in soccer. In the last few minutes of the game, when you're ahead, particularly in a close game, when you clear the ball, knock it as far as you can down to the other end of the field, and then try to defend when the ball is coming back up.
Nice control there off a very high ball.
Nice one-touch passing going on here. This bing, 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 that's just nice stuff. Changing fields all the way across the field.
It's incredibly difficult to defend, too, and really tires out the defense.
Well, sure. When the ball does the work.
Beardsley was looking for a Lovelace, but put it way too far.
Just a lot of instep passing rather than the side of the foot. Good passing generally takes place with, well, like a putter, if you will, in golf. The side of the foot knocking the ball forward. Now, the long drives are something else, of course. You're going to use the instep, but passes like that, if you knock it with the putter side of your foot, if you will, it just seems to work a lot better and is a lot more accurate. Well, we're coming down to the end of this one.
Less than 4 minutes to go.
The gals are playing a couple of games before the men play again. The ladies are playing tomorrow about 65 miles down the road at Newberry College. And the ladies are playing again up in North Carolina at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, the 4th of September. And then we'll be back with more casts coming up here, more webcasts, that is, on the 6th of September. There's a 5 o'clock women's game, and they'll be, of course, playing right here. And there is a men's game at 7 o'clock. Men are playing Friedman Hardeman University from Tennessee. That is the 6th of September. And the ladies are playing again Friedman Hardeman University. So those that doubleheader coming up again Thursday, the 6th of September. But again, the gals playing away, not playing here. Saturday and Tuesday of Saturday tomorrow and Tuesday of next week.
Well, the women's game against Friedman Hardeman should be a very interesting game because Truett McConnell beat both schools by the same score of 2-0. So, you know, law of common opponents, you'd think that BJU and they would match up fairly evenly.
Oh, nice move. Nice move. Oh, wide of the goal, but those quick, nimble feet of being patient and being able to knock the ball to the side is and seeing the defender commit himself, waiting to see what the defender is going to do. When the defender commits, just knock the ball in the other direction. And of course, he took a left-footed shot there too.
Yeah, I think a lot of times with the size that BJU has, they sacrifice some agility and speed for it too, and that's really hurt him this game.
But they're going to go away from this game with a lot of knowledge. They've seen what can happen. I'm sure these kids are very, very serious about this game, and they're going to say, now, how did that guy beat me? They're going to lay awake in their beds tonight thinking, how did that number 11 get around me so quickly and so easily? And they'll say, aha, now if I can defend, if I would have defended him in this way. So those things kind of go in your reservoir of tricks of your own, so you can keep the game in hand.
I'm also encouraged to see that he was calling for the ball quickly. They really want to score one more before this thing's over. They want to have the last say on this. A little bit of a flop there by the goalie, as he clearly had it in hand, then just kind of fell down for the fun of it.
Well, we're coming up on the final minute here.
Coming perilously close to his 6 minutes, or his second, sorry.
Another throw in for Southern Wesleyan.
45 seconds.
Almost slid back to their old name. I'm not sure what that was. That was frustration. Get away from the ball, son. There you go.
I was going to say, he was literally grabbing his head at that point.
Yeah.
Totally unnecessary, particularly when you're up by 4.
Yeah.
It's not unnecessary anytime, but especially then. So just about do it. 20 seconds remaining. Trying to get one more push downfield toward the corner, and that should, well, might be able to chase it down. Nope, that's going to roll out. 10 seconds to go. Well, the Bruins have played hard and have put on a show, but Southern Wesleyan, just the superior team, really showing off their experience, skill, expertise, and they will take this one by a score of 8-4.
Well, we thank you very much for joining us, and our credit and thanks to go out to the folks down in the booth that have really made this performance possible. Johnny Gammett is, of course, the sports information director. Fletcher Molnix has been the PA announcer. We've had Maria Irvin, David Lurty, Bill Kinsley, and Jim Jordan on the cameras. Jeff Carr is the chief engineer. Dan Boone is the director, and a special thanks to the Journalism Mass Communications Department. Now, our next soccer webcast will be Thursday, September the 6th, when Bob Jones University Bruins host the Friedman Hardman's folks, both the men's and the women's. The women's kickoff will be at 5 o'clock and the men at 7. Until then, this is Paul Wright with Nate Warlock saying thank you for joining us, and join us again next time.
Hey fans, we're just 5 minutes away from our fireworks show brought to you by Jack in the Box. Stick around. We've got 1 minute until fireworks. Okay, fans, count it down with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.